and welcome to Movies, Films, and Flakes. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who is cuckoo over Dan Stevens, Zanandi Boetes.
Oh, I'm so happy it's Dan Stevens Day, everybody.
He had a great year.
Although I think every day it's actually Dan Stevens Day, but
Man,
he had a great year. Another great year.
just
Should
three
we
different
say.
accents. He's crushing. I was looking through other people, and like Margaret Qualley had The Substance, Drive Away Dolls, and Kinds of Kindness. She had some good roles. Nicholas Hoult,
Yes.
I think he's maybe second place because Juror Number Two, Nosferatu, and The Order. He's three very different characters in those three films. Like he brought it this year. Sebastian Stan had The Apprentice and What a Dangerous Man. It's like he's had a good year. It's like there's people who have good years, but none of them have played a undercover detective vampire from Queens, a dentist who works on King Kong, and a German mad scientist. Like
Mad
it's
scientist, yeah.
and so what we're gonna
He
do today.
chooses
Oh,
he
sorry.
chooses his roles really well. Sorry. I feel like he's really good at choosing his roles really, really well. And I'm sure that there's somewhere like a clause in every contract that says I'm only doing this when I'm allowed to do an accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Dan Stevens, yeah, he does the accents and it's great. It's so much fun.
If you bring in Dan Stevens, I was reading about Abigail, and we have an Abigail episode coming up, but he just went out with the costume designer and the directors around Dublin, and they picked out the everything for his character. Like he wanted the glasses. He based every like so. Okay, here we go. I have his three characters. It's Dan Stevens as Frank Adam Barrett from Abigail. And then we have Dan Stevens as Trapper, a veterinarian at Monarch from Godzilla and Kong. Times I don't even quite know how to say
Yeah, how do
Godzilla,
you
a
say
new empire.
that?
I don't know. Godzilla and
Is
Kong. I
it
just say
is it
and.
times?
Yeah, times
Yeah, I
Kong.
also
Like
just
it,
what does that even mean?
I don't know, but
What
it's a
is Godzilla
beautiful.
times gone?
It's a,
Godzilla X gone.
I just say and I'm just like just let it just let it
Yeah,
be.
and
And then I
yeah.
have and then he's Dan Stevens as Herr Koenig at Cuckoo. And so what we're going to do is we have four categories: best accent, best character / performance, which character has the best moment, and then what's the ranking on a weird scale of 1 to 10. Because I found an interview that was really funny, and this lady said that she calls Dan Stevens characters like she calls them freaky little weirdos. That's what she called his characters, and she asked him to rank them, and he's like, I love all my weird little freaks equally, but I can't possibly put them in order. But he did say that his character in Cuckoo is up there. Like he's like, I like him because like how fun he was fun to play, and like the environment that was created. So he understands that he plays weird little freaks, and he loves them all
He loves
equally.
it. He loves it. He's
And
relishing it.
today we're gonna figure out which one of his 2024 weird little freaks is the best. And so I'm very excited. And you like, I feel like if you bring in Dan Stevens, you just let him do it. Like it's just like
Yeah.
I was watching Godzilla and Kong, and he like it's Rebecca Hall, who's incredible. Then you have
Yes.
Brian Tyree Henry, Oscar nominee, like amazing, excellent actor. And I'm just watching this movie, and like they're incredible in it. And there's a scene where Kong takes baby Kong by the foot and hits other Kongs with him. Like this is a like there's a scene where Kong is in Egypt, and Kong just has his hands out like, Godzilla, stop, man, like my bad, stop, and Godzilla just levels him. Like it's this glorious film, super fun, super cheesy, and then you just have Dan Stevens as Trapper, as like the most laid back dude ever, and he's just perfect in it.
With its own soundtrack. I love that he
Yeah,
just
yeah.
comes with his own soundtrack. That's the best. Honestly, I think this is why we love Dan Stevens so much, why he's just globally adored at this point, because he is obviously very professional, a very good actor. He brings his A game every time. But at the same time, it seems like he's not taking absolutely anything seriously.
Mhm.
It looks like this guy is just taking the mickey out of everything whilst actually being very professional. And I just love that. It's like, is anyone having more fun than that guy?
No.
And I think that's why it's such a joy to watch him, because you can see he is having all the freaking fun. With Abigail, like we talked about it, the episode that's coming out later. Like, I mean, he basically, Frank, like he went for the whole, he based the look of Frank on, I think you should leave. Like,
Yeah,
I
he's a
mean,
piece of
how
shit.
freaking random. Like,
I
I'm
read that
gonna
article.
go
Yeah. I used to be a real piece of shit.
like you said, and then yeah, with Godzilla and Kong, I'm gonna have my own soundtrack. Like, I mean, because you just know he had a hand in that. You just like
Yeah.
it smells like he had a hand in that. It's just so much fun. It's just so much fun to watch. And then yeah, let him play a German mad scientist doctor, like with such intensity. I think that's probably his more quiet role, like of the
Hmm.
three. Like, because he keeps it back a lot in a way. He's more quiet and more, but still he's got that quirks that
Yeah.
like oh, I can't help it. It just pops out. And yeah, he's just really great to watch. I think you just can't take your eyes off of him because you want to see what is Dan Stevens doing next. Oh, do you know what he's doing next? I saw yesterday he's going to be in a movie with Al freaking Pacino.
Yes. I love it. His
Oh my
son.
goodness.
I want to
I
see him Al
cannot
Pacino
wait.
Pacino.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
I broke up his character. I defined his characters in like one sentence or just a few words. So in Abigail, his character, like he's defined because he's just a piece of shit. And that's the
Yeah.
line from Baby Cries. He's like, I used to be a real piece of shit with slick back
Shit.
hair. And so that's what he is. And then in Godzilla and Kong, he describes himself as he describes himself as happy go lucky. And he said that he's a cheeky chappy. What do you like, happy go lucky or cheeky chappy?
Mm,
Because
yeah, I've never heard Chicky Chappy, so I'm like liking that. That's a new phrase. Chicky Chappy.
so he said he's a cheeky chappy who probably had a dodgy start in early life, and then he became trained as a vet. Nothing phases him, and then he becomes increasingly fond of Bernie, and just become great friends. And he's
Yeah.
just incredible in it. And then in Cuckoo, I think he's just a mad scientist, and he described himself as being like esoteric. He said he's a very devoted silence scientist who put blinkers on. But I mean, like
Mm.
he's like this totally weird scientist in a fairy tale, and he like shows up and plays flutes and does like weird little looks, and he's just perfect. And so we have his characters defined. We know the movies. Do you want to start with best accent for it? Because
Yeah, let's.
like
Okay, let's.
I sent you a link to like he's been Bond in certain but like and he does a lot of audiobooks. So he's been James Bond. Like he's done Shakespeare. Like this is a guy with so many beautiful accents. And so
Yeah.
what's your favorite accent here? Is it like the Queen's accent in Abigail? Is it kind of like the cheeky chap like accent in Godzilla and Kong, or the German accent in Cuckoo?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cuckoo because that was the one that impressed me most. Like with the Godzilla and Kong and the Abigail, I giggled a lot.
Yeah.
Like there were times where I was giggling because of his accent, but that was kind of the point because yeah, like he's not playing serious characters, but like with Cuckoo, he actually impressed me. I'm like, that's a bad German accent. And the German accent isn't great to do. Like I literally just watched Rumors before we started recording. Have you seen Rumors?
Uh-uh.
The movie with Kate Blanchett. It's like a it's like an absurd comedy, horror, weird Canadian German movie. And Kate Blanchett's in it, and she does a German accent, and it's not bad, but it also again just made me realize that German accents aren't actually it's difficult to do them well, like to do them subtle. Like most people will like just overpronounce it, go for the hard, like Germanic, like placements in the mouth. Where he actually impressed me in Cuckoo. It wasn't that bad. Like, so I'm gonna say that's best accent work. But if you ask me favorites, I'll probably go with Godzilla Kong because that was just fun. That was just the cheeky chappy
Yeah,
cheeky
cheeky
chappy
chappy.
accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the fun. Best Cuckoo, favorite Godzilla Kong.
And like he had done that I'm Your Man, so he had the German kind of down. So in this film, he really does knock it out. Like he was in a
Yeah,
German science fiction romance film, which I kind of love. But yeah,
yeah.
no, yeah, best, you're right. Best is Cuckoo. Man, do I like favorite? Okay, that's a whole new bag. Yeah, it's
I mean,
okay.
I
Like
love his supposed Queen's accent too, or whatever the hell that is. But I think Frank flip flops the most of all his characters.
yeah, yeah.
But then I mean, like Sammy says, yeah, your accent doesn't fool me. So he's doing that for a reason. I get it, but Yeah.
It just caught me off guard. Like, so in Kong, when he showed up with his accent, I'm like, what is happening here? But and
Yes.
Abigail, when he started talking like that, like those are fucking lemon, like onions, like I was
Yeah.
like, what is what? Like,
Yeah.
this is so unnecessary. And like, so I'm gonna go with my favorite's Abigail because I just went,
Okay, great.
it's not necessary, but best is Cuckoo. Yeah.
Base is Cuckoo. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. For sure.
Those are
Okay.
those are fucking
Next.
onions. Like, oh my gosh.
Sammy, those are fucking onions. I can't do it. I'm terrible with accents, by the way. Like
And you know what's interesting? I think a lot of actors they'll go southern easily, like, "Hey y'all, what's going on now? Oh, dang," and
yeah.
like they'll go southern, but like, or like a big broad like, "Hey, oi," like I think Margot Robbie's really good at kind of like a New York, New Jersey accent too, because like, "Hey, hey," so but it's still his Queen's accent is just great. I don't know, and it goes in and out, and like, yeah. So I'm yeah, Cuckoo wins. Cuckoo wins. Now,
Cuckoo wins.
who's the best character or like performance? Like what's the best character and what's his best performance, would you say?
Frank. Hands
Frank.
down, Frank.
Yeah.
Abigail, Frank. I mean, like maybe just because he gets to play levels of an asshole.
Yeah.
Maybe that because he starts off as an asshole, but things escalate to a whole new level. And then he gets to play a freaking vamp at the end. I mean, it's just wonderful to watch. Like, and you can see him relishing being the villain.
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, he's played villains, but I wonder like how many villains has he played versus just like, fun
Mhm.
guys. Like, he's the Russian dude in Eurovision and like like he's played a lot of fun guys too. The guest is kind of like, yeah,
You
he's
don't
not bad
know.
until he goes bad kind of vibe.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think he's just he relished like playing such an evil, terrible, will absolutely will make the worst decisions, will make the most evil calls. It was just so good and so good watching him. And I mean, I watched Abigail 4 times now this year, and it just gets better. And he just it's so much fun to watch him. He just yeah, you can really see him getting into it and like I say, relishing.
I agree. I
All the
really I agree with you here because you watch Godzilla and Kong and he's great and he's wonderful at Tyree
yes,
Henry, but he's just chill as hell. Like he has like a hippy
yes,
dippy sixth sense. That's what they say to him, and I don't think he ever raises his voice, but he does very little things that you have to look. Like he'll grab Brian
yes,
Tyree's hand, and
yes,
he'll like there's certain ways that like and his character Trapper's a good dude. Like Trapper's like, hey
yeah,
boss, like he asks her, like he respects Rebecca Hall in the movie too. He's like, "Hey, boss, can I
yes,
go do this?" And she's like, "Yes." And he goes and gets Project Powerhouse, and he's like, "I love you too, Doc." And he's not like a weirdo. Like they're just genuine friends. He doesn't like killing
exactly.
mosquitoes, and like he's just like he quotes Tennyson during all this, and I don't know. I just like when he drops the knife too when they attack him and he drops it. Like it's the little like I guess you could say that he's super chill in the movie, but the little things he does are perfect. And then in Cuckoo, like there's that scene where he spritzes Hunter Schafer in the face and she drops, but the way that he does the little spritz with his little look, it's just perfect. Like he's so
Yes,
swirly in the movie, and like just the little looks he does, and looks good with a machine gun, and he's good, but he's very kind of measured. But like, there's this
yeah,
scene in Abigail where, like, I had the subtitles on, and they're like grunting rhythmically, and he's looking about who to kill, whether it's Melissa Barrera or the Abigail. And he's kind of going, hmm, like he's like looking back and forth with a little head like bob back and forth. And it's like that's why you get Dan Stevens. Like he didn't have to do any of
exactly.
that, but he adds
Nope.
so much to it. And like the onions line reading is
Oh my
is like
goodness.
perfection. Like it's
It's the line of the year. It's the
yeah,
line
I
of the
think it is.
year.
And like just Sammy,
So
those are fucking
those are fucking
onions. And
onions.
like little hand. And just the way he looks and performs, and then he's looks great as a vampire. He
Yeah.
looks like Bill Paxton
So
from Near
good.
Dark, which makes me happy.
Yes,
So yes, I'm going with you. Best character and performance is Frank.
for sure. But all three is just great. Like you're right. All three of them really have their merits. But yeah, we're going with Frank because Frank is the correct answer here.
In anybody else's hand, though, I think Herr Koenig or Trapper wouldn't be as good. Like Dan Stevens adds
No, it
these
would be so
little things.
different.
Like
Mm,
they talk about like with athletes, they talk about intangibles. Like you watch any sport, rugby, cricket, anything. Like there's great athletes, and then there's like great athletes who have like these intangible assets. And I feel like that's
yeah,
what he brings. Like,
exactly.
all right,
Exactly.
all right, okay. So best
I love
accent,
it.
Cuckoo. Best character performance, Abigail.
Abigail.
Okay, we've already covered this a little bit, but which character has the best moment?
Well, again,
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's line of the year. It's the
Yeah.
line delivery of the year. So it has to.
Hmm.
It feels unfair, but Abigail is knocking this one out of the park because shit. I do love his, like I say, his little soundtrack moments in Godzilla and Kong. Like his introduction in Godzilla and Kong is lovely. When we first see him and he's
Yeah,
coming
the
down on
tooth.
that big ass and he's like singing along because it's his intro and he's got his soundtrack. That's great, but I'm sorry, line of the year.
Hmm.
So
You know, in like a couple minutes, he's like he's the rare character who's very capable. He has a knife, you know, in Godzilla, like he could fight some folks, and he knows when to stop. He kind of has a sixth sense, and he's very respectful of other cultures. Like Brian Tyree Henry's filming it. He's like, hey man, like I get it. You've gone through it, but let's not film these people. But he doesn't do it in like a hey bro, stop. Like he does it in a like he asks
exactly.
questions, and you can see that he really respects the leadership of Rebecca Hall, like because who wouldn't? But you know, there's an episode my brother and I recorded about great bosses in movies, and he picked Rebecca Hall and Godzilla and Kong, which makes me really happy.
Mm,
So we talked about
nice.
that. But she like so I think he has some great moments, like little moments, but and like, you know, I love the speech in Cuckoo when he's like growing back those cells or hurt even more, you'll be stuck in a loop. And he's like,
Yes,
apology
yes.
accepted. Like it's that's a creepy scene, but it's perfect. And like I think his characters could easily get lost behind those glasses, but
Yeah.
he doesn't do it. But line of the year. So it's gotta go to Abigail.
It's just gotta. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and even like when he turns at the end and it's the big showdown in Abigail, even that is also just like when he turns, that scene is just so good.
I do love when he's just eating
Abigail,
banana
Abigail
chips.
2.
Yeah.
Abigail 2, Cuckoo 1.
I'm throwing a pivot on you here. And we're gonna go which character has the best wardrobe.
Godzilla and Kong chapter.
Because he
I'm
wears that shirt, it doesn't wear
No,
him.
but totally, exactly. No, I mean, it's the most colorful wardrobe, and I love me some color in a wardrobe. And I mean, Frank is just like normal. He actually looks like a freaking dirty cop detective, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
He literally
Yeah.
dresses like that. I'm like, dude, you are not incognito. Cuckoo is just like walking around with a lab coat most of the
Mhm.
times. Well, if you think about him, obviously he doesn't. Like he's got some nice jerseys every now and then. But like, I'm gonna
There
go with Chopper there. Best
yeah,
wardrobe.
I agree. There is an evolution to Cuckoo, though. It's like in the beginning, he wears a green jacket with brown shirt and brown pants, which blends in with a lot of like the color palette of the film. But as it goes
Yes.
on, he like when he kind of makes his switch to like you know he's a villain, he starts wearing all white. And so you're like,
Yes.
uh-oh, like when he
You're
goes to
right.
take her in the room and put her in the pool. And at the end, he kind of has a flamboyant purple shirt on because he's just gone full villain. So like
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
his wardrobe really does it tells the story of his
Evolve.
character, but it's not on a
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt. Like
It's,
a
I'm sorry. You can't beat an Hawaiian shirt. It's just, no. On Dan Stevens.
yes.
No. No.
And like
No.
this
The only way he's looking better is if he takes the shirt off. That's literally the only way he's going to look better. So I'm going with the Hawaiian shirt.
just the necklace and he has some bracelets on and he has a knife
Yeah.
and like he has cool tactical pants and the little cuffs on his pants are rolled up a little bit. So later when he's in the sand, he does like when he's talking to Rebecca Hall, he rolls up his little pants, but they're very neat. They're very like uniform things so they don't get in the sand. So he looks
Yes.
casual,
Yes.
but he's actually a very neat guy, which is probably just
Exactly.
which is kind of costume department, who knows, but I like he
Looks
just looks so awesome
looks
in the
he
movie.
looks after himself.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah.
mean, that's the thing. He doesn't look like a scruffy beach bum in the movie. He
No.
looks like a guy who, yeah, just wants to like chill on the beach, but not like he's actually been living on the beach for 100 years and never had a shower.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Matthew
There's a
McConaughey in Beach
difference.
Bum, you know, just like this.
Yeah.
And like I'm not a big fan of cargo pants, but he has like tactical pants that I feel like he actually uses. So
Yes, exactly. So it's both like comfortable and functional
yes, oh, I love it.
and with a colorful shirt and some beads.
He's so great.
He's the best.
Okay, so we have one for Cuckoo, two for Abigail, and one for Godzilla and Kong. Oh,
Yes.
okay. So this is the final category. And here's the thing.
Mm.
Like, let's try to get in his headspace here and just be like, he gets the script. And so the original Abigail script was like for a 7-year-old Italian American cop from New York. And they kind of had to change that. But he still kind of dresses like one, which I love.
Yeah.
But
Right?
um,
I'm like
geez Louise. But yeah, so okay, on the rank on a weird scale ranking of 1 to 10. So like let's take the script and then let's kind of look at what he did with it. So let's take
Right.
Trapper. Like what's Trapper's on the weird scale of 1 to 10? How and like when this is like not like weird as bad thing. It's more like he took this character
No,
interesting
yeah,
scale or something
quirky,
like that. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Creative, different. Like that's yeah. I mean, let's imagine who else would they have cast as Trapper if it wasn't Dan? Like,
Patrick Wilson?
because yeah, like maybe I would think like back in the day before Pratt became a lead, maybe a Chris Pratt
Oh
even like,
yeah.
like kind of one of those. And I just don't think anyone would have done it that quirky the way Dan did. Like, I think he really leaned into the more almost holistic type of character, the way he talks with the people. I think there was definitely a lot of leeway given to him there. I do not see all of that being in the scripts. I think the basic
Yeah.
was there. I'm not taking away from the writers at all. The basic of it was there, but he definitely added to it to make him this really likable guy, but also like this guy is so like weirdly holistic and weirdly like chill and zen and whilst dealing with all these craziness like because he's kind of like what do you call it like a speed junkie like a
Yeah.
adrenaline junkie if you think about it like I mean he's riding up on these big ass cranes and like pulling teeth from like giant monkeys and like going down into Earth's core and like he likes it. He's having a good
Yeah.
time. So he's kind of like an adrenaline junkie, but not like what like a Woody Harrelson would do a adrenaline junkie, or
Oh
like he's
yeah.
got this holistic thing. So I think that's extremely creative. Like I'm gonna give it a solid like 7 out of 10, maybe a 7.5 out of 10 for creativity.
I think you're right because he's also very non-aggressive, but he can also you feel like he
Yes,
could take care of business. And like he
absolutely.
goes and gets those mating flying creatures to like help the battle. And
Yes.
he goes and gets the power glove. And then he has
And
like
he
this
doesn't
cheeky
sweat. He
yeah.
never sweats
Never
about it.
sweats.
Never, ever. No
Never
sweat.
sweats. Opposite of Dwayne Johnson. And so he
Opposite of Dwayne.
never sweats. I think 7.5 is good because I don't want to see a 10 of this character. Like I think the way he played this
No,
character is I think Pratt would be Jurassic World. And then,
exactly.
Carter like Thomas Jane would be Carter Blake. I think Patrick Wilson would add like a matinee idol type vibe to Trapper, like a nice dude. I think him and Hall would
But
be
too
good
nice
together. Yeah,
almost.
yeah. He's like, yeah, this dude has an edge. And like there's a
He
scene I
does have an
love too where
edge.
he just looks at Rebecca Hall and he's like, "How's your daughter?" Like he cares. Like it's but you feel like it's real.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
It feels
okay,
like an authentic character, even though it's like a weird character.
I'm gonna you know what? I'm gonna give it an 8.1
Ooh, okay.
because this character could have been nothing on screen, but he really reads well. And when you watch it, I think like the banana chips, that's his idea. Like he does these like when he puts his hand on Brian Tyree Henry, like it's very nice, and you can tell that they actually like each other. And I think if you're going to talk about quirks and making it interesting, he took an uninteresting character and made him interesting.
Oh,
So,
that's very true. Maybe I'm too harsh with the scores. I'm always harsh with scores. So I'm going to change mine to an 8.
oh, okay.
It's around 8.
I think that's the
So
first
it
time ever where I've changed your mind on a score. That's
no, but
a
I like well, I mean, we don't really score stuff
yeah.
actually a lot. Like,
Yeah,
well,
you're right.
not on the podcast, not on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, maybe behind the scenes, but not
Yeah.
on the pod.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, no, okay. Yeah.
So we have an 8 and
Because
an 8.1. What do you think about Frank from Abigail? So he was supposed to be a 67-year-old gruff Italian American corrupt New York cop. And then we get Dan Stevens Frank. What like he could have like Remember when we talked about? You'll hear about this on the Abigail episode, but I'm like, yeah, I almost don't think he's bad. He's a horrible man, but I just like him so much and everything he does, and I'm like, I like him. It's a weird performance where you still like the guy, but you know he's horrible. But I think you just like him because he's Dan Stevens. So
Yeah,
he takes a
exactly.
one note character and adds notes to him.
And you also kind of want to see him in the sequel. Like, why did he have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
die?
yeah.
Like, we would have liked to see him in the sequel, come back in the sequel as like now the main villain, and it's this power play, kind of like Underworld, like a new Underworld situation
Oh.
with Matthew Good and like, Stevens on the other side and factions. And I mean, that's really like a character that I wanted to see more of because he just made it so fun. And when he turned dark, he went all the way. I mean, I
Mhm,
think he did a good job. I actually think Chopper was more quirky.
mhm.
Um, like I think he played more with that character, and Frank is brilliant. But on a scale of weird, I mean, you got the dirty cop vibes, like totally. Like you got the, oh, this guy's ruthless. Yeah, he didn't abandon his kid because he felt guilty or anything. He just abandoned his kid, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like he's just, and I think he played that well, but without being like a Ray Liotta type of, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
without being like that, like evil, like
Aggressive.
aggressive, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna give Frank 7.5. Yeah,
I think so too, because it's kind of there on the page, an aggressive cop, but then he just finds extra quirks like the wardrobe and the glasses to
exactly.
and also
And the
I
line
like
deliveries.
he plays him as like a super like macho dude, which I find interesting because he's not that big. Like Kevin Durant's a big sweetheart, and he's the killer on the squad. Like he's so strong he can hold down Abigail. But Frank in this
Yeah.
has this very I don't know like macho vibe, but he's Dan Stevens, which I love, and I
I
like how he,
mean, he's more macho in The Guest if you think about
yeah, oh
it.
yeah, yeah, super soldier.
Yeah. But I mean, that's what made Frank also like a good character, how he played Frank, because Frank thinks he's this macho guy, but it's actually just he kind of plays him like a guy you want to punch in the face. Like just shut up already, like
And he has a couple really smart moments. Like he wants to leave. And then there's the point where he calls out what Joey on being an addict. Like he knows he pegs her too. So you're like, wait, how smart is this guy? You never quite know. He's not the smartest, but he's smart enough to know who she was. So
he's
it's
got
like
enough detective skills to, yeah, to kind of, yeah.
so you're like, wait, is he
So,
smart? Is he dumb? Is he smart? Like it's an interesting character, but I don't think he's that quirky. He just looks
yeah, because I mean, a lot of that was written. Because I
mhm.
mean, the characters
Yeah.
were well written. Like, yeah, 7.5. I think that's a fair score.
Cuckoo.
Cuckoo. Well, I mean, it's hard to actually isolate him from the entire whackness of that
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I was watching that movie and like I'm very into it, very into it. And then things start getting weird. And by the end of it, I'm like, what am I watching? But fun and good and enjoyable. But like, geez, Louise.
Mm.
Yeah, Cuckoo is an interesting one because again, I think he did really well. I mean, literally, we start off when we meet him, like you want to start laughing because Stan Stevens and doing a German accent completely caught me off guard because I didn't watch a trailer. I went in blind. But then, yeah, like he almost gets more serious as the movie goes on, like because he gets into that, yeah, I'm here to do an experiment, and this girl is messing everything up, like, she's like, I don't want to play along. But he's got this serenity about him also. It's a quirky one. It's quirky enough. More quirky. Yeah, I'd say more quirky than Frank.
Yeah.
Slightly. 7.8. How does
Yeah,
that sound?
I think you're right because he's a quirky character in a quirky movie. And so it's
Yeah, so it's difficult to judge.
yeah.
Like I mean, yeah, Godzilla and Kong is, but I mean it's not a quirky movie. It's whack on a whole different level.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
But then you don't expect him to show up, right? And be so level. Like and just
and be exactly,
man.
exactly.
I
I
found a
mean,
good quote from
Frank,
him about Cuckoo if you want to hear it.
go for it.
Okay. We spend a lot of our sorry to interrupt. We spend a lot of our careers
Ah,
jostling alongside the other actors and doing similar stuff. Like, oh, he's done a biopic or he's done an action movie. we're all sort of doing our thing, but I get to occasionally go over and do a strange little film in German. And sometimes that strange little film finds an audience. Like I like Dan Stevens. Like I feel like he's really he looks for strange little German films to make, but then he'll also pop up in
Exactly.
God's. And you know what Adam Wingard said, and I think I wish I would have used this during our upcoming Abigail episode, but he said he wrote the role with Stevens in mind because they worked together on The Guest, and he said the actor's secret sauce is a singular ability to make every character like kind of trustworthy, no matter whether the villain or a hero. There's something about the charisma of Dan Stevens that makes everybody young or old like him.
Yes.
And he's like, and of all the actors I've worked with, he's the one that most casual film goers are familiar with. I think because he's so many done so many different types of things. But I like the
Yes.
quote that he said was like, "You just like him," and so that was my problem with Abigail. I just liked him,
Yeah,
and I wish
exactly.
I could have summed up my 10 minutes of talking with that quote. But
You almost forgot that he was a bad guy.
yeah, because I just like him.
Exactly. So freaking likable. I mean, and that's why The Guest also works so well. He was the best casting that you could ever have done, like for The Guest, because you want to, that's the point, to get the audience to like the guy before things go all like apeshit. And it worked so well because, yes, what is not to love about Dan Stevens? Seriously. The guy is a gem.
Great, and I love him in
It's
Eurovision.
just great.
Oh,
I mean, yes, that's what I'm gonna watch when we wrap this up. Like I actually wanted to watch Eurovision again, but then I knew I was just gonna talk about Dan Stevens in Eurovision, and that's not the part episode we're doing. So after this,
well,
I'm totally watching Eurovision
I
again.
would do that again. That movie's lingered in my memory. Like what Rachel McAdams is doing in that film. Like you're
Oh
just
my, oh, she's just brilliant.
like
Farrell is hilarious.
you're
Dan
just
Stevens is like the MVP. Like, I mean,
they're all in, and I love that.
yes,
So you want to hear our scores that we have right now?
do
So
it.
we have Cuckoo 1, Abigail 2, Godzilla and Kong 2. So in Kong, we're saying it's the like most weird or interesting performance, and
Yes,
it's the what else do we
wardrobe,
have? Oh,
the
wardrobe. Okay.
wardrobe,
So then Cuckoo is accent, and then
best
we
accent.
gave Abigail like performance and moment.
Yes.
So it's a tie right now, but oh man, how do we
Wow. So no, with our scores, like our oh, but you no,
it's
you
2-2-1.
already said
It's Godzilla and Kong with 2, Abigail with 2, and Cuckoo 1. So
right.
how do we pick the winner? Do we just call it a tie? We got to do a winner.
We got to do a winner. Okay. Which character would you rather want to see in a future film, Frank or Chopper? You can only pick one. Let's say they do a prequel of not that I want them to at all do a prequel of Abigail, but let's say you can see one of those characters one more time on the screen. Who do you want to see, Frank or Chopper?
I don't know if I'd want a super serious crime film with Frank. So I'd rather just watch Trapper pull teeth from large animals.
Okay, but not super serious, like still in the same
Okay.
genre as the one. So a comedy horror, because Abigail's a comedy horror.
It's tough that both of them don't really wouldn't lead a film. They're just so great in the ensembles. So if
Yeah, ne?
like
Huh. Yeah. Oh,
Trapper's
it's
so
a
chill. They're both kind of one note characters. Not one note. They're three-dimensional, but like Trapper's so chill. Yeah. I mean, I got to go with the line reading, and that's the onions.
I'm
Like
gonna go
that's
with Frank. I'm gonna go with Frank.
I love Trapper. Like I think Trapper's so unique and like perfect, but Sammy, those are fucking onions. Like that's the
He,
tiebreaker.
yeah, he just nudges it. Like it's very close. It's so close. It's pretty much equal.
Yeah.
But I'm also gonna go with Frank with Abigail. Like I just love what he did there as much as I love Chopper.
I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. I'm still torn, but
Abigail
it's great.
wins.
Yay.
I know, right? Abigail wins, but love for Chopper.
Hey, we did it, Zanandi. And
We
and we have our
did
horror
it.
episode coming up soon too. So that's good. This will drop before
Yes.
our big horror episode. So I'm excited for that. And
Awesome.
like I like being selfish with my episode topics on movies on flick sometimes, and this was a total selfish Mark episode, so I appreciate you joining me on
I
this
mean, you
journey.
said Dan Stevens, and I was like, when, where? I'm there. I'm so ready.
He's so good. Awesome.
Dan
Well,
Stevens forever.
thank you for
Thanks,
joining me,
dude.
Zanandi.
So much fun. So much fun.
All right. So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Zanandi Boetas, this is Movie Sons of Flicks. We'll see you next week.